I wanted to bring something up that I noticed that's happening in the world today. Something that is very disturbing. And it's the castration and feminization of the males. This is very alarming. This should bother a lot of people. And people don't want to talk about stuff like this, but it's really important. Why is there such an agenda by the democrats and by the demon possessed to destroy the young men, the young boys, the young males, the male babies being born, to create a weakness and a desire in them to desire each other? Why is there such an agenda for women to become masculine, to become aggressive, and to become like bull dykes? Why is this agenda being put out and pushed? Why is the transgender agenda being pushed? Because it's demonic and it goes against everything God. God created the male before he created the female. And in the book of Genesis, we know that Adam was created first. And he was given dominion and authority over all of the world that he was in, which was the garden at the time. And he named all the animals. And he would look at the animals, male and female, one to another. And he was alone. And he asked God, "Is there anyone for me?" All the animals have a male and a female. And I have no one. And God looked at that. And he wasn't okay with that. So he laid Adam down on the ground and put a deep sleep over him and performed surgery. And God reached inside of Adam's stomach, his rib cage, and pulled a rib off. And he laid it down next to Adam into the dirt. And he created woman for Adam. He created the woman for the man to be a helpmate to the man, for the pleasure of the man. So, why is there such a huge agenda to make marriage between a man and a woman look filthy, to make sex between a man and a woman look bad, that it's not right, that the only thing that really is right is homosexual sex, gay sex, gay love? Why is that? Why is there such a big agenda to do that? Because God warned us in his word that in the end times, Satan would absolutely take over the world. That God would give Satan power to do so. And Satan has never been able to possess a body before. Demons can. Demons can absolutely possess you and live inside your body being the house, the vessel. But Satan has never been given permission by God to do that. Only his little dominions could do that. But the Bible tells us that God is going to give Satan the power and the authority to take up a corpse and to go inside of it and rise it up and become a leader over all nations. And that's going to cause what's called the great falling away. What is the great biblical falling away of the faith? Well, it started. The falling away of the faith started. It actually started a while ago. But when Trump did not win the 2020 election, that began the falling away, because people felt let down by God, because they prayed for that. All the prophets said Trump was going to win. Even I woke up in the middle of the night hearing a voice saying Trump was going to win due to Biden being disqualified for proof of voter fraud, but that did not happen. But I never thought that that voice ever was God either. But it did wake me up out of a dead sleep. I wasn't dreaming. And it did kind of make me take notice. Like, oh, Trump's going to win. Great, that's great. But it wasn't God's will. And remember, a true prophet of God, when they say something's going to happen, it actually happens. A false prophet will say something is going to happen, that God told him something was going to happen, and it doesn't happen. And I think we've been exposed to a lot of false prophets. I don't think that they're bad people. I think they love God. They study the Word. But they were wrong. That's all. They were just wrong. But a real, true prophet of God, when they say something's going to happen, it happens. And that's the difference. I would just like to encourage I'm a mother. I'm a single mother, and I have a 40-year-old son. And I had to raise him alone without a father. And I had a lot of boyfriends. I was looking for the father figure. I was a package deal. It didn't work out because nobody wanted that. They just wanted me. They didn't want the package deal. So I went through a lot of heartache. But one thing that I knew was to raise my son like a man. That was important to me. That my son grow up and be a man. And I was hard on my son a lot of times. But I did it because I loved him. And because I had to be the father and the mother. And I wanted my son to grow up and be a strong man. A macho, strong man. And guess what? It worked. So, I would just ask that any mother out there that has a little tiny baby boy or a little toddler or even a young son or teenage son, and you don't have a father and there's no father figure, toughen up a little bit. Take him fishing. Take him hunting. Even if you don't know how. Just go out in the wilderness. Let him work on your car. Ask him to change the oil in your car. Even if you don't know how to do it, tell him to get online and figure it out. Bring your young boy up. Bring your little boy up. Don't put him in girls' clothes. Don't put pink on them. Pink is a girl's color. It's not a man's color. Don't name your child childish names. If you have a boy, name your little baby boy a strong male name. If you have a little girl, name her a feminine, beautiful girl name. Don't raise your little girl to be a boy. She doesn't need to be a tomboy. Because believe me, even if she is, she'll grow out of it. Let her be a girl. Don't confuse your children as to what gender they are, because their gender is already determined between their legs. And if you don't know what your gender is and you're confused, just spread your legs and take a look. There won't be any more confusion. Parents need to step up and be parents. Don't let the government raise your children. We're living in some really, really dark times right now. The devil is all around us. And we know that we're close to the end times. And we know what the Word says, what God says in the Word about the end times. The devil is going to attack. And he's going to attack hard. Because his time is short. And he's going to take as many people to hell with him as he can. This is why I'm always telling you that you need the blood of Christ. Why did Christ die for you? Why did he take that horrible beating from those Roman soldiers? Why did he take that crown of thorns that they stuck down into his skull? By the way, a lot of people don't know that those thorns were almost 6 inches long, or even longer. Yes, they went into his skull. The reason he didn't die right away from the scourging from the Roman soldiers with the cat of 9 tails. What is a cat of 9 tails? It's a bunch of leather straps. And tied on the end of each leather strap is glass, iron, and stone. And they took that and they stripped his clothes off of him to humiliate him. And they beat him so severely that it filleted the flesh open on his body to where you could see the bone. And after that, he carried a crossbeam to the hill of Golgotha, where they laid him down on another beam, and they put the equivalent of railroad ties through his wrists, not his palms, through his wrists. And he did that for his love for you, because that's what he came here to do. He had to die for you and shed his blood for you to stop Satan. Now you're saying, well, he didn't stop Satan. Look at our world today. Look at all the horrible, horrific things. Child sacrifice for adrenochrome, child rape and mutilation, just to get a few dollars from a video on the dark web. The rapings of women and children, and men now. Men are being raped. Well, God is still on the throne. He knows everything that's happening, and he's going to come back. He's coming back here. Whether you believe it or not, Christ is coming back. It's going to be a storm. It's going to be horrific. He's not coming back to be your friend. He's coming back as a lion to absolutely devour every wicked human being that does not have the blood of Christ, that does not have a relationship with him, that does not know him. Time is running out. I wish that not one would perish or die without God. That means homosexuals, murderers, and even rapists. I wish that you would all go to him, ask for forgiveness, and be washed in his blood, because that's what he shed his blood for. The sinner, the murderer, the rapist. But woe to you, child molesters, and woe to you, child killers. It would be better that a millstone be wrapped around your neck and you be thrown into the ocean and you drowned. Because there's no mercy for you. Because God loves the children. And you will pay for that. But to everybody else, except for the blasphemers of the Holy Spirit, everybody else, there's forgiveness. There's forgiveness for you. And God came for the lost. He didn't come for the saved. He died for the lost. He didn't die for the saved. The sick need a doctor. And he is the doctor. I had COVID. Never told anybody. Because I didn't need to. I had every symptom. But I knew it wouldn't last long, because I never get sick. For 4 days. The first 2 days I had stuffed up nose. The second day I had a headache. The third day I had a metallic-y taste in my mouth, and nothing I ate tasted like anything. I also noticed on the fourth day that my toes on one foot, my left foot, were black. Which was really strange because they didn't hurt at all. There was no pain. I thought, I didn't stub my toe. I didn't drop anything on my foot. I had what's called COVID toes. I didn't know that. I never got vaccinated. I never got tested. I didn't need to. It never went into my lungs. Because I knew that no matter what would happen, Psalm 91 was my shield and my buckler, and I believed in it. I actually believed it. So therefore, I didn't succumb to anything. I also went to work every day. And I take care of an elderly woman with late-stage dementia, full-time. She's a quadriplegic. She can't move. She never got sick. I never wore a mask. I washed my hands all the time. Even her daughters, 2 of them, were sick with COVID, and they came to the house, which was very interesting. Why would you come to your mother's house knowing that she's elderly? That's where I got the COVID from. But you know what? It had no effect on me. Because I'm covered by the blood of Christ. Because I'm covered by Psalm 91. And I believed it without a doubt. You need the blood of Christ. You need the crucifixion, that he died for you and why he died for you. It's to protect you from demons. The Roman soldiers beat him, and every single lash that he took was your sin, my sin, the sins of everybody on this earth. He was unrecognizable because of the sin that was laid on him. And he did it out of love, because he loved you. Who's going to take a beating for you? Who took ever in your life a brutal, violent beating for you? And after that, walked with the crossbeam to be crucified for you. Is anybody going to do that for you? Anybody in your family? Any friends? Any coworkers? No. Jesus did that for you. And he did that for you because he loves you. And he doesn't want you to go to hell. Because in hell are the very demons that tortured you and tormented you out here. They're waiting for you. And they're going to finish the job. And they're going to take all of your unforgiven sin because you were too proud to ask God to come into your heart, come into your life and wash you clean. And those demons in hell are going to rape you day in and day out with your sin. You will have to look at your sin and every filthy, horrible thing that you ever said or did, day in and day out. That's why you need the blood of Christ. Thank you for your time. God bless you, and may God have mercy on us all.